Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me in Dubai today visiting W Motors to go for my first drive in the Fenir Supersport. Now it's a car that I have seen and chased around the world, but today we're in the UAE. We will head inside the showroom where the car is awaiting, as is the Lykan Hypersport from Fast and the Furious. We'll take it out, go for a drive on the roads before coming back later on to go check out their specification suite to put one together, build up a spec and see what that's like as well. Let's head inside then and go check out the Fenir Supersport. As we come round then to enter the gallery, the name of the company, W Motors, actually comes from Wolf Motors, hence the names of the Lykan and the Fenir, named after mythical wolves. This is the Lykan Hypersport from Fast and the Furious 7. We will come back to that in a moment. This is actually the original pre-production model of the Lykan as well. That's the pre-production of the Fenir, and this is the car that, like I said, I have been chasing around the world, most recently seeing it out at Pebble Beach on the run with Fuel Run, driving up through California up the Pacific Coast Highway, before that at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, and in fact I've even jumped in shotgun for a passenger ride up the hill climb on board this very car. So we've had it in the USA, the UK, it's been to many other places as well, but now for me the third continent to film with the car on, out here in the UAE over in Dubai. Now we'll have a good look around the gallery as well. There's a lot going on, model cars, the specification studio as I mentioned, but let me give you all of the details of this car before we take it out to go and experience it outside on the roads. So the Fenir Supersport, they're going to be making 110 maximum units in total, 10 of which are the launch editions. We can talk about some of those specs as well. It is based around a 3.8 litre twin turbocharged flat six that makes 810 horsepower and 980 newton meters of torque. That means 0 to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour, just 2.7 seconds, and onto a top speed of 400 kilometers per hour, about 250 miles per hour. Now it's a full carbon fibre bespoke built body. There's a technical partnership with Roof over in Germany, helping of course in terms of the powertrain supply, but also the chassis and the development setup, but with an entire in-house designed body and visual appearance of it. You've got some active aero at the rear, quite an interesting setup actually, because you have these independent side flaps which will raise up at a lower speed than that at which the entire wing will raise up, and then when you get to I think 240 kilometers an hour, it all sits back down again to give the car more stability and go on towards a maximum speed. Of course the design is edgy, it's aggressive. Design inspirations that come from Fenir, named after Fenrir, a mythical wolf as I mentioned earlier, hence why they have these touches on the side of the car but also up on the roof as well. That's quite fun. An angry, aggressive looking wolf wearing sunglasses. But as you look around the car you can see those design kind of inspirations, the aggressive hunched over front end, the way the lights are shaped right out towards the sides. And this car, remember we're looking at, is 1.4 million US dollars as a starting price, 1.65 for the launch editions. The full carbon body that in this case is painted with the gloss white paint, but also with the exposed satin elements that you can see left bare and visible all around. Now the doors actually open in quite an unusual way. You have the door handles just here, but then they actually go backwards. Reverse doors. Inside, you've got a fixed bucket seat, you have all of the touches that they've created for the car, you've got a 10.3-inch digital display in the centre, you've also got the infotainment touchscreen down there in the middle. Now one thing that's quite interesting as well, no rear window, because the bulkhead is very much right behind the seats to get the engine as far forward as possible. Of course, mid-rear mounted engine creating all of that power, but what it means is that you actually have a camera here that comes up on the central screen as opposed to having a rear view mirror. Having a look around the more of the design elements, you can see the aggression to the diffuser, all of these angles, sharp edges, but also the way that they come up and travel together and go through. And I think these rear panels, by the way, actually open inwards from each side. Maybe we'll be able to demo that later and be able to have a better look at what they've got going on in here, including the suspension system that is visible inside the rear sections. But yeah, all in all, it is an aggressive looking thing that is waiting to be fired up so that we can take it on out. Into life then. You can hear that flat six sound. You can also hear the turbos, a deep grumble. We will pull the car outside. Right, let me time. I think maybe just grab a few quick pictures before we swing on out onto the road. get to experience this properly. Outside then, on the move, look at the wheels. Their own wheel design, one wheel option for the car that they've created specifically. Around comes the Fenir then, looking very menacing. The burbles as well, echoing slightly off the back of the buildings behind. But let's jump on board then, come round. I should have probably gone around the front with the way that the doors operate, but we will climb in where we are joining Gareth from W Motors. How you doing?
Good, thanks, you?
Very good, looking forward to this. So let me take a seat inside here. The doors actually have soft close, so pull it gently and it would pull itself in the final stages. Belted up. Oh, we've got a passenger display as well, right in front. Idles at just under 700 RPM. Alrighty, here we are then. I'm excited to experience what this is all about, having seen the car so much, and I guess I've sat in the seat before, which is the slightly strange thing.
It was a bit brisker. We went up the hill in Goodwood then.
Yeah, and now we're out on the roads here in the UAE. There's skyscrapers everywhere, the Burj Khalifa right in front of us. We have to head around just to exit off the pavements. Yeah, inside here we've got a lot of carbon fibre, a lot of Alcantara, custom touches, this whole display that has a custom UI for the car. We've got a 7-speed RDK roof doppelkupplung gearbox. Paddle shifters, of course, on the back of the steering wheel also. As we head out then, how do you bring up the rear view camera on here?
So you just into the side into your rear.
Oh, that easy. And then we've got a view backwards.
Exactly.
Plus a lot of sunshine, of course, given where we are. Does it feel exciting for you to drive?
I'm always excited in this car.
Have you done a good number of miles yourself?
Yeah, I've here in China, in the States, in the UK, I've been quite lucky. So.
To drive the car across the world.
Exactly.
And now, obviously out in the hometown, which feels a bit surreal to me being here.
Not ideal hypercar traffic.
No, we need to get away from that a little bit. Hopefully it's not too hard to do so. The confusing road network of Dubai, it's never easy to work out where you're going. A million different intersections and splits and directions. But you hear the noise of the turbos, that's for sure. Spooling up sound behind. Alrighty then, it is swap around time. I'm looking forward to experiencing this. So, let me jump on out. We've got some drawstrings here to pull open the doors. That is a very strange sensation as they open forwards. The general design in here is really cool. The Fenir logo engraved into the front there. Some of the touches around. The gear shifter with its own Alcantara finish. All the exposed carbon. This isn't the final interior. There are going to be some changes to it that are made for final production. The W Motors logo just here as well. But yeah, all in all, very nice. So let's take a seat inside here and then continue on our way. Here we are then in the car. So let's pop it into gear. I'm going to go straight manual if you do not mind. I always enjoy driving manually. And we will pull on out and get a small feel then for what this is like to drive. So gently does it. You get quite a kick from the gearbox, don't you? It's also very loud inside. There's a lot of engine noise, a lot of natural sound, a lot of drama from it, and a very, very, very quick shift. Wow. And the cool thing now then is to accelerate towards the Burj Khalifa. You're definitely very aware of the amount of power under the right foot. Yeah. There's a lot of it. You get lots of bubbles when you downshift as well. So we have to be pretty careful over the bumps. There is a lifter, but we shouldn't need to use it. Just to go over here. There we go. This one is pretty aggressive. No, this should be fine. There we go, all good. Fun. So if I pop it back into auto then, we can go into chill out mode. Just relax, driving gently. And you've done some long drives in here. Well, I know you did fuel run, of course.
Yeah, we did fuel run. So that was Malibu up to Monterey in one day.
About 7 hours inside here?
Yeah, but it was quite a comfy place to be. It was good fun.
Yeah. as well. And now drop a gear, open road. Now that I've started to unleash it a little bit more, I'm getting the fun out of it. I'm really starting to enjoy driving this. And we come up here then towards the Meydan Bridge, which I've seen many photos of before now. It's cool to actually be here. I've never been here before. And in this car of all cars, a pretty special way to do it. It's a really cool Meydan race course just off in front of us. Get around. I think the road up here is actually closed, so we have to take an unusual route. Move this way. Okay. And then we'll be onto the bridge with that view, the Dubai skyline. What a place. So much construction as well, everywhere. Wow. Back out here. You definitely get up to the speed limit quickly. We're back here then at the gallery. Gareth is bringing the car back inside. You can have a quick look as well around the showroom, but also head to the specifications. I'll just get that parked up, grumbling away here. It is a very aggressive looking thing. A few more things actually to tell you about it that I didn't realise before in terms of software configurations and some changes that are actually some of the topics and things I've thought about while we've been driving as well. I'm going to take a seat back inside here then to show you quickly what we've got. So the infotainment is of course currently showing us the rear view camera, but inside here you have the exhaust control, so you can pop it into touring mode where things will get a little bit quieter. You also have the rear view camera, you have your spoiler controls if you'd like to change the flaps in the spoiler and how they're operating. You've got a G-force sensor, you can see your various different forces on the car there. Of course you've also got your music, your climate control, your navigation, telephone, and some settings over towards the right as well. On this screen this is all pretty responsive. Can't complain about this at all in the slightest. And then your dashboard, have a look at that. And obviously the engine is off at the moment just with the ignition on, but you've got this pretty cool dual-sided display. Your speedometer over here, your rev counter over towards the right, which has a line that kind of moves across the backing image, and then down at the bottom you've got the view of the car, the Fenir, with the tyre pressures and some more info as well. So pretty cool display all in. And the steering wheel, just a few words on that. Carbon top, 12 o'clock stripe, nice details generally around it, and unique touches made specifically for this car. In fact, you look at the things like the air vents, you know, they're all unique, they're all created for this side screen as well for the passenger display. Again, very, very nice. Few details that will change. You know, this interior is going to be designed and changed slightly differently. There'll be more, I think, softer materials in it. There'll be a move towards an electronic handbrake, and then a quick look behind as well, just so you can see what's around. And there's a decent amount of space actually above. Plenty of room. Seat design is pretty cool. Fenir embroidery up on the headrests. But yeah, all in all, it is not a bad place to be. I will show you then a little bit more around the showroom here. The soft close will pull in the door there, nice and snug. So inside here, we will talk about the Lycans. We will go through some of the spec options for the Fenir, but let me just come past this car to show you some of the model cars, and I'm always a big fan of these. You can spot the differences actually between the Fenir and the Lycan, because the Fenir has a contrast coloured roof, whereas the Lycan has the body coloured roof. And these designs actually represent 5 of the 10 different launch editions, so the 10 of the 110 cars in total that cost $1.65 million. Each of these is pre-configured in different colours, unique specifications as you can see from the examples that are actually there, and we'll talk more about the specs when we head upstairs. Also in here though, we have the Lycan Hypersport, the car that they released the first time, and in fact I was there when W Motors presented the Lycan Hypersport for the first time ever. But things about this that make up its $3.4 million price tag. For example, at the front you have those diamonds inside the headlights headlights, unique touches, and just generally they only made 7 of them. Exclusivity, hey? 7 cars in total of the Lykan Hypersport. This one not being one of the production cars, but being the car from Fast and the Furious 7, the surviving car, I should say, because the others very much worse for wear. And in fact, even this car took, well, quite a beating during the filming and making the various clips as it jumped from one building into another. But to have it here, to have the ex-movie car on display, is also something pretty cool. Anyway, let's head on upstairs then to go and have a look at how this works with the specifications. Upstairs then, we have a view down there to the Lykan, but we're going to head into this studio where we can talk about some of the specifications. And I always really enjoy these kind of options and customization. And you can see the configurator that we've actually got loaded here. We'll have a play with that in just a moment. A few different wheel examples. You can see the different multicolored options that are possible for those. You've got some leather samples up on the walls. Have a look though inside these drawers. Very big, heavy drawers, but inside here we have an almost endless supply of paint samples. These are really, really good fun. So you can literally pick and choose, again, angular and edgy like the cars as well. Let's say you wanted to have a two-tone car, you could choose your 2 different types that you might go for and get a good look at what those are going to be like together when coming in to specify a car, and to go through this whole process here inside the specification studio. I'll just pop these away, just keep them nice and tidy. Close up the drawers for a moment. There's more to it than just those as well. Coming around to the other side, over here, you've got different options for the interior trims, obviously for the leathers and materials, and then on the specification screen, this is really cool. You can take a seat here, let me just zoom in slightly, and have a play with different materials and options. So this is in acid green. We've got Arctic white, Furious red, Hype Candy, if you want a bright pink car, or you can click the wolf. You can go up to the color palette here. We could make a kind of cerulean blue. You could go matte if you wanted. Oh no, I've got to click back on the wolf to confirm this. Sorry, on the OK there we go. You can go matte, glossy. You could make it carbon fiber. Check that out. You could have cerulean blue carbon fiber. Tempting. I actually quite like that with the gold wheels. Kind of funky. Anyway, you can see the options are endless to make every car unique and different. Back downstairs then in the showroom with the Lykans, and of course with the Fenir, following today's experience to get to drive and get a better understanding for the very same car that I rode in up the hill climb at the Goodwood Festival of Speed and have seen out in the USA as well. And here we are in Dubai, inside the showroom, having now driven this car. It is very interesting actually to experience it and to get more of an understanding, to learn more of what it's about, what W Motors are about, the things that they're doing, their future projects, but of course how they have released this car following on from the Lykan 7 units. Still 110 units is a very rare car, not exactly common at all, but they've created their own design, their own style. It's not going to be mistaken for anything else that is out there on the road whatsoever. And to be honest, actually quite an impressive drive overall. Having that assistance and technical support as well from Roof on that front. Roof of course creating some amazing cars and having done so much over many years, and these actually being assembled by Magna Steyr in Italy as well. Magna Steyr, again, with so much experience working on these type of products, means that overall you have a car that drives very well and is pretty well put together. Now this is of course the pre-production, the prototype, the concept for the car. It's not a final production specification, so there are still things that are being changed, being worked on, settings, configurations, that kind of thing that will all be put into the final production car. But as an overall driving experience, it's dramatic, it's exciting, and to be honest, came together better than I think I was initially expecting that it actually would. Design of course is aggressive, it's out there, it's wild, it's dramatic, not necessarily going to appeal to everybody. That is the way with controversial designs, but that's what makes it, I think, so distinct and unique as the W Motors Fenir Supersport. Anyway, today has been great coming along here to the showroom, having a looking around, getting to pop upstairs as well to go through some of the specifications and of course to drive this car. So a big thanks from me to the team here at W Motors, to Gareth as well for joining over. I've had a great day and I hope that you guys have also enjoyed this video. For today though, thank you very much for watching. That is all, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.